As a mere child, I didn't own Donkey Kong Country. It was really unfortunate because I loved that game tremendously. I had to snatch up every opportunity I could to play it at my cousin's house, which was far less than ideal because she'd always get bored of the game and force me to play something else. Rude! So in my early teens, I got the first 3 Donkey Kong Country games for my Game Boy Advance SP, and it was great. But getting to play one of them on the big screen again is so much better. Donkey Kong Country is your typical side-scroll platform game. But don't let the fact that it's typical deter you. This bad boy was one of the best-selling Super Nintendo games. What's not to like? The music for this series is without a doubt the best I've encountered so far in a video game, and the graphics do not disappoint. Now, as epic as the music and graphics, and hell, gameplay, are for this game, there is almost no plot. I personally don't mind this, but you're basically supposed to gather through gameplay that Donkey Kong's banana hoard was stolen by King K. Rool and his Kremlings. Your goal is to get those bananas back and show those assholes what's what for taking your stuff. Anyway, there are 6 worlds, which house a total of 33 levels and 7 bosses. Upon passing all these levels and defeating all of these bosses, you may come to find that you've only completed about 40 to 50% of the game. This is because, in order to actually defeat the entire game, you will have to find all the secret areas. There are a grand spanking total of 67 of these areas, and once you've visited all of them, you will complete the game 101%. So there are different modes that you can play the game in, which adds a tremendous amount of replay value. First, of course, there's one-player mode, where you play the game by yourself. This mode does offer its own variety of gameplay, however, as you can switch between playing Donkey Kong and Diddy Kong. Donkey Kong can defeat basically all enemies by jumping on them or by hitting the ground, which is his own special move. Diddy Kong can't kill all enemies, but he is much quicker and much more agile. I prefer playing Diddy Kong one hell of a lot more than I do playing Donkey Kong, because his abilities to jump higher and to cartwheel make you feel somewhat invincible as you play, and also make the game easier. The other 2 modes that you can play in are 2-player contest and 2-player team. 2-player contest mode is very similar to 1-player mode, because only one person plays the game at a time. The object of this mode is to pass all the levels as quickly as possible and get a shorter running time than the other player. In 2-player team mode, one person controls Donkey Kong and the other controls Diddy Kong. Only one person plays at a time in this mode as well, but the players can switch playing as often as they want throughout the levels. Everything that you can earn or collect in this game goes towards the same goal of obtaining extra lives. You will most definitely need extra lives in this game, so obtaining items is pretty crucial. Some examples of how you get an extra life are collecting 100 bananas, catching a red balloon, collecting the letters K, O, N, and G in a level, which becomes progressively harder as the game goes on, and collecting animal tokens. Collecting 3 tokens of the same animal gives you access to a bonus round where you place that animal and collect more animal tokens. For every 100 tokens you collect, you get an extra life. Or, if you want to take the easy route and be a cheater, what? Then while selecting Erase Game on the file selection screen, press the buttons BARRAL to start out with 50 lives. In a fair amount of the levels you can utilize animals. There's Romby the Rhinoceros, who can defeat any enemy, Espresso the Ostrich, who can fly, On Guard the Swordfish, who automatically stabs enemies for you, Winky the Frog, who can jump high and defeat enemies, and Squawks the Bird, who lights up one level for you. My favorite animal is Romby, but he's kind of everyone's favorite animal, so that's nothing special. As I mentioned earlier, I am in love with the music for this game. I used to play on Neopets, please don't judge me, please don't judge me, please don't judge me, and use Donkey Kong music for basically all of my pages. The music for the water levels is definitely the most mesmerizing, but my favorite level is Slip Slide Ride, simply because I think it's pretty. But do you want me to let you in on something that I don't enjoy? Shh, come here. It's a secret. The fucking barrels! These are some of the worst things I've encountered in a video game. Jumping from one to the other is fun at first, yeah, but that's deceiving. Eventually, the game will suck you into many torturous vortexes of like 30 barrels in a row, where you must successfully make it all the way through or else have to start all over. Snow Barrel Blast caused me so much anger that I wanted to throw my freaking control at the screen. I rate Donkey Kong Country 8 out of 10. For its time, it was definitely one of the best video games in existence. And by today's standards, I certainly feel that it holds its own in being both aesthetically pleasing and being a very solid game. I don't rate it any higher than 8 out of 10 though, because it's too short and yet at the same time too difficult to fully complete. And the barrel sections make me almost as cranky as Cranky Kong himself. I mean, come on, how can you not like the graphics?